So a kind of a lack of interest, almost the nuisance value of the local. I've just come back from Bali myself, and the Baratoli's comment on it echoes my experiences. Kuta Beach started out as a drowsy fishing village in the 1930s, catering for a small number of vacational Europeans. Its surf potential was discovered by Australians in the mid-60s, and since then it morphed into a fully fledged surf ghetto on a par with Huntington Beach on the North Shore. The incoming global surfers have changed these local places. So surfing can embody competing tensions between wanderlust and place attachment. And there's a tension between these two lifestyles. Locals have become, due to the influx of global surfers, locals are becoming to defend their territory from the global surfers. You can see this across the globe, but perhaps the archetypal example is in Hawaii from the 1970s when Australian surfers came around, and the formation of Dahui, or the Black Shores, which in many ways quite violently came to protect the local waves for local surfers.
Right. All these people come here from the mainland, from Australia, from wherever they came, and it's really disrespectful, you know.
These guys came over here super aggressive, trying to catch every wave in the water, dropping it on the young kids, you know, out of control. That's why the movie was formed, is to make sure local people get their waves too.
Not only in places like Hawaii has this localism been generated in order to protect the waves from incoming surfers, from global surfers, but also in Maroubra Bay in Australia is another seminal example where the Bra boys have set up often violent claims to their local area to stop their particular beaches becoming like a Bondi and becoming globalised as the short film illustrates.
And they had a strong surf culture that's kind of died down over the last decade. And I think without localism, all these beaches will basically become a Bondi as such. But you need to keep that essence of the culture of the place, and that's all part of localism.
I think it just puts everything in perspective. It's not just about surfers, it's about the whole community.
There's a lot of distance between the beaches. So a lot of these surfers know their well.
Beaches for our local community and our surfers. Like, if you're a travelling surfer, you just got to take it back so you're moving water. We don't go to their place and try and take all the way. We don't want people coming here trying to take everywhere.
You spend so much time at one place day in, day out. You've lived your life there. And it's a respect thing, just from one person to another. You know, you expect people to just show a little bit of courtesy and behave when they come to your home.
So we can see in the case study of surfing there's two concurrent visions of the relationship between people and place being played out here. There's an ongoing tension between rooted local communities and surfers and more global surfers, more vagabond surfers, more rooted surfers. So how have surfers sought to use this creatively, and how can we perhaps use it creatively to start thinking about this concurrent tension between these two ideas of the relationships between people and place? Piers Flynn from the Surf Rider Foundation thinks about these issues as follows. The question is, in this increasing tension that's being seen, is can surfers mature as a tribe? Can they mature as coastal stewards? Do they have the ability to long-term ask, what does it all want our kids to have? How do we balance the freedom of surfing, the path that they will follow, that stoke they get from being part and parcel of the surfed wave, with the long-term preservations of the real values that we're all after, that include other people too? The reasons why places in Australia or Hawaii were great for global surfers to go to is they have these surf cultures. But if they are denigrating them with their presence, then they're going to undermine the thing that they value, of course. So, the dialogue, the conversation, the discourse associated in these surfing communities is evolving into one of stewardship, as Marcus Sanders, the surf journalist, outlined. Surfing is about taking care of something you can't own. And that's as precious a relationship as you can find anywhere. Before you write me off as some closet hippie, check this out. If you look how home breaks affect the surfers who ride them, there's one common thread. They all care deeply about their spot. They're all stewards, in other words, not because they think they should be, but because they have that choice. And neither do we. So these concepts of stewardship, of caring for a local break, or respecting other people's local break, are becoming increasingly widespread in the surfing community. And I'd just like to finish by talking about one way in which this idea is becoming formalised. They're trying to move beyond this negative tension to fight, creative tension between these two understandings, the relationship between people and place. And this formal recognition is through WSR, or World Surfing Reserves. World Surfing Reserves are based on Australia's national surfing reserves and UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and they're designed to enshrine and protect the world's greatest surf spots, not simply the places on the water, but the cultures that support them on land as well. But because of the radical different materiality of surf, as Philip Steinberg put it, you can't literally enclose a surfing area. It's too fluid and too forever changing. It's too mobile, perhaps, for that. So perhaps World Surfing Reserves can be understood as a performed place, as Drew Campion, a celebrated surf journalist, writes, as a celebration of place. And a celebration of place that's literally carved into being as surfers carve through the waves, through their surfing practice. Perhaps we can understand this World Surfing Reserves, this move forward, not simply, or as resonant with the idea of songlines through Bruce Chatwin's work, talking about Aboriginal celebrations of place. Perhaps not songlines, but surf lines, in the way that rooted surfers can contribute surfing practice, which calls forth the history and strengthens that generational history that brought about the surf culture in the first place. But if rooted surfers, the second, globalised surfers, if they respect this history, then they are allowed membership almost of that area. They're not kept out. And then through their processes, they can add additions and add a global riff, perhaps, to this local ship. So, because of these two aspects in the lifestyle of surfing, the roots and roots, and all these global roots, all these vagabond surfers, have almost led to the creation of the World Surfing Reserves. Their world, after all, they're not simply for local communities. But nevertheless, local roots still exist, and these WSR still recognise the importance of local roots to the beach and surf. And so from being placed in this broad manner of ways that I've articulated in this presentation, there comes, as Doreen Massey would advocate, a responsibility. And this responsibility, one way in which it's being articulated, is through these surfing reserves. They offer one potential of this opportunity zone that the surf area promises, and the coming together from this creative tension of the local and the global produces. It produces a possibility zone in which a place where surf culture has taken root.